Our motto in Williams is always that reality is boring. Nobody wants to pay for reality. We take everything beyond reality to the point where it's, the only way to do this is through our video game.
It's the perfect blending of everything. I mean, the game is fun to play. It's got good graphics, and it's got a decent backstory to it.
It's easy to come up with the ideas. Anybody can come up with ideas for games and stuff, but it's to actually convert something from an idea in your head into reality, into something that is a sellable product. That's where the challenge is. John, Tobias, and myself came up with the idea of doing a game.
Our first inclination was to do a fighting game, but we wanted to exploit our hardware capabilities with displaying huge digitized graphics.
Yeah, that was the guy who, I totally get that. He was the guy who came to your office for that. Oh, is this not secret?
We split very evenly the responsibility in terms of the creation portion of the game. John comes up with the characters, their costumes, their look, the story behind them, and essentially the whole mythos behind the game.
There's comfort in knowing that the other person is doing their job beyond your expectations. The good thing about working with that is you can hand them some artwork, and you'll see it in the game pretty quickly.
Whatever can possibly happen in the game, I have to program the game to be able to do that.
Cantaloupes are an interesting fruit. They didn't quite provide the proper resonance. I had a lot more success with honeydew and cassava.
Dan shows you cool stuff every couple of days. He just comes in and you go, great, this is awesome.
And he's a lot like that, where I just have this confidence that, he's going to go away and come back with something spectacular.
Scary sounding, hopefully. I like to do scary music.
Fatality. And then there's John Vogel. He did background for part 1. He did some stop motion animation stuff for part 2, and he did some backgrounds in part 3.
He worked on backgrounds along with Tony Goski.
Tony's probably one of the most respected artists in this department. He's probably one of the best artists in any industry, and he conceptualizes backgrounds as well.
The soul chamber, and this is where the tornado.
He never sees a tornado.
I think of everybody on the team, Steve probably keeps his wits about him the best.
Steve Baran worked on Mortal Kombat 3. That was the first one he worked on, and he did the character graphics with John Tobias.
I like doing stuff that's actually kind of shocking. Not so much violent or anything, but just stuff that gets a reaction.
Dave Michicich, he's like our resident 3D expert. He kind of got everybody up to speed on doing 3D stuff, and he can crank out anything using a 3D program faster than anybody in the world. People don't realize that there is a lot of work done in the actual characters and their costumes. I've never asked John for a character that looks like something. He shows me something and says, what do you think of that? And I go, that's great.
See, the inspiration, I think, for a lot of the characters comes from all over the place. I mean, They come from movies I've seen when I was a kid. They come from books I've read. I mean, everybody gets inspiration from somewhere.
As with all the Mortal Kombat games, the characters are definitely the most interesting of any fighting game.
Hey, get out of here, man. It's supposed to be in here.
Well, let's see, a character would probably first start with me sitting down, staring at a blank wall for a little while, and then after a while, something will hit me and I'll just start sketching around different ideas.
John will send the sketch to a costume designer. We went months and months not having names for these characters, and then we'd have these powwow sessions where everybody would kind of throw out names, and then, 95% of them, somebody would say a name, and then there'd be one of us, of the 5 or 6 of us, who would just, have a heart attack just because they hated it so much, and then we're like, okay, I guess that's a no.
That's good. Once the costume's completed, we'll all get together in the studio.
And then we have a list, a huge list of animations, kicks, punches, uppercuts, and then the special moves and stuff. And we basically go down that list, capturing every single frame of them performing these moves.
And then digitize, all the various motions.
The day that we spent filming is probably, like 2% of the entire amount of time that has to be devoted into doing it.
It's just all sitting at the computer and touching them up and stripping the images and preparing them to hand over to Ed.
As you play the game, when you first start, the computer's very dumb. It'll just stand there, it'll let you beat it up, and then as you fight the second guy, it'll get a little smarter, and the third guy a little smarter. And it has to be progressive. It has to be something that's, smooth, increase in the difficulty, because if you play the game the first time and the computer kills you, you're not going to want to play it again.
I think the music that Dan develops for the game, a lot of it he bases on the individual background.
Ed gives me a videotape of just sort of scrolling through the backgrounds. I just look at that and try to get some idea about the kind of mood that we're trying to represent.
Hi, I'm Kano. After a day of men killing, there's nothing I like better than a cold can of Kano Cola. Cracking good.
Fatalities, there was this feeling when you finished a match in Mortal Kombat where you sort of beat the other character and he's standing there, stunned, and then he just falls to his feet or you punch him or something like that.
Fatality.
We added the first few and it really made it seem like you really have now accomplished something.
There was a rumor that there were animalities in number 2, in Mortal Kombat 2, but there weren't. And so we're going to put them in this one.
Their basis was rumors started by the fans themselves, and we're just sort of playing on the popularity of the rumors.
Animality.
Mortal Kombat 3 has so much hidden stuff, it's just endless, it's just the amount of stuff that we packed in there.
The button and joystick combinations were the expected. Everybody would start looking for them immediately, and that's when I believe Ed came up with this whole sort of combination lock system.
There's 6 little boxes, 3 of which are controlled by player 1, 3 of which are controlled by player 2. Try different combinations of those 6. There's a million possible combinations to see what can be unlocked in the game.
There are codes hidden in the movie. There are codes hidden in our print ads.
In the TV commercial for the home game, there are codes hidden in, background objects or, a wall or a fence or something like that.
What is it?
CD-ROM, which is coming out, has tons of codes, and also the home game contained codes.
The Ultimate Comic Code? No, I don't know any codes.
And between you and me, I really don't think anybody's going to be able to find that. Or will they?
It's all an illusion. It's all an illusion.
So we're done.
Open
Game over.
sesame.